What if the reason your business isn't growing has nothing to do with effort? You see, most business owners think growth comes from doing more content, more networking, more hours. But what if growth actually is being decided by the handful of invisible actions that you repeat every day? See, the uncomfortable truth is this. Your calendar already reveals your future revenue. Not the goals that you wrote this morning in your journal, not the vision board that's collecting dust. It's your daily habits. And once you see that, you really see that, you stop chasing breakthroughs and you start building real momentum. Hi, I'm Yvonne Bramble, founder of Apex Business Advisory, a strategic business advisory firm where we partner with business owners to build stronger, more scalable businesses through strategic planning and operational excellence. And today we're talking about how business owners can create real momentum, consistent revenue, and sustainable growth without working more hours. Now let me tell you a little story. A few months ago, I spoke with a business owner who really looked exhausted. She told me, Yvonne, I'm doing everything. I'm posting content, networking, updating my website, and I still don't feel like my business is growing. It's actually stalling. And I asked her one question. I says, well, tell me what actions you've repeatedly done consistently over the last 90 days that directly created your growth. And she paused there. I see this all the time. Most business owners wait for one big breakthrough instead of proactively building small habits and seeing the value that these small habits, they actually compound over time. And if you've ever felt like you're working harder than ever, but not seeing the results you expected, this video might completely change the way that you think about growth. So that leads me to the first point, which is the myth that keeps business owners stuck. Let's talk about that. One of the biggest lies business owners believe is this, that when I finally get more time, more clients, more followers, then things are going to take off. When, right? In the future. But it's the small changes today that create these extraordinary outcomes over time. Think about it. You don't gain 20 pounds overnight. You don't build wealth overnight. And businesses, they rarely collapse overnight either. See, everything compounds. Either it's compounding upwards or downwards. But either way, something's happening, even though you might not see that. See, I once worked with a business owner who consistently said that she needed a better strategy. Oh, I need a better strategy, da da da. But when we looked closer, the real issue wasn't her lack of strategy. She actually had a pretty good strategy. It was inconsistency. See, some weeks she followed up with leads. Some weeks she posted content, she was really good. But then other times she wasn't feeling very well, something came up, issues, client issues, etc. that pulled her attention, and then you'd see the inconsistency. So it was an ebb and flow. Well, this is what we did. I stepped back and we simplified everything and created a consistent rhythm, a consistent cadence in place that she would run like a well-oiled machine. And 90 days later, this is what she said. She says, I finally feel like I'm leading my business instead of chasing it. Well, you know what? Her response was predictable. I knew that was going to happen. Why? Because we built it into the daily activities. We weren't hoping, praying, vision boarding it, writing it in journals. No, we were actually doing the thing that would get us to the end result. You see, nothing dramatic happened. It was the tiny habits that changed everything. And that leads me to the second point, which is it's not a revenue problem that you're experiencing, it's a system problem. See, one of my favorite concepts in the book Atomic Habits by James Clear is this. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. And business owners, we love our goals. 6 figures, 7-figure revenue goals, maybe more clients or more freedom. See, goals are a good thing. They really set the goalpost, something that we can move forward and look forward to achieving. But here's the rub. Goals don't build businesses. Your systems are what build your business. So imagine 2 business owners who both want double revenue. One hopes and reacts, one hopes and prays. Maybe does their vision board, writes in their journal every day, oh, I want to double my revenue, da 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 da, right? They'll meditate on it and they'll visualize it. This is all good stuff. But that person is waiting for a breakthrough. Okay, I'm waiting for my breakthrough, waiting for a breakthrough. Okay, now let's take the other example. The other creates systems, daily sales activities, daily follow-up processes. The stuff that's not so sexy, right? The stuff that's not so, exciting, but they're doing the daily grind, the push-ups, right? No one's gonna be able to do the push-ups for you. You have to do your own push-ups. So they're sitting there every day building, maybe they're doing one push-up every day. One, getting stronger. Okay, now we can do two, right? So they're doing the work, the boring stuff, the stuff nobody really, celebrates. They'll celebrate that when you reach the goal, but it's the daily stuff that kind of hums in the background, the white noise. Well, that's what they're doing. They're creating systems. They're taking action daily, right? Sales activities, follow-up processes, weekly KPI metrics review. That's important. Key performance indicators, right? That's keeping them. One thing that I like to share with the students and members of the Strategic Leadership and Business Growth Program, I give the example of a business owner being like a pilot in the cockpit of an airplane. And you've got all this dashboard with knobs and things to click and switches. And so looking at your KPI metrics dashboard is exactly that. It allows you to make the fine tweaks, the fine millimeter shifts in your business to make sure that you stay on track and you achieve of the goal that you want to, and you land where you need to land, you see? And so all of these things matter, but in the daily throes of things, they might not seem as significant, but they all count. Now, in the end of this example, who do you think is gonna meet their goal? Well, it's very clear, isn't it? The person that took the proactive daily actions. And see, business growth is not random. We've proved it with a simple example. And so in your case too, I want you now to take that story and plop that into your life, in your daily activities. See, revenue becomes predictable when your actions become predictable too, right? It's the writing's on the wall, so to speak. If I were to come to your office and look at your calendar, I could be able to predict if you're going to be successful or not, just simply by seeing what is in your calendar. And you can be able to make that assessment as well. So if your business feels inconsistent right now, I want you to ask yourself, what system am I depending on? Motivation or structure? Now that leads me to my third point. Being busy slows your business growth. I'm going to repeat that. That's important. Being busy, that busyness, that's slowing your business growth. Now let's talk about that. This part can feel a little uncomfortable for some people, but busy does not mean productive. I've seen business owners spend entire days answering emails, updating their branding, researching tools, and at the end of the day, they'll say, oh, I worked 12 hours. But did those 12 hours, anything in those 12 hours, create future revenue? Did it affect the bottom line? Or were they more administrative tasks? We can get easily pulled into operational administrative tasks all day, every day. If you're a business owner, you know what I'm talking about. Our habits shape our outcomes. And in business, your habits either build growth or maintain survival. One of my clients realized that she was spending more time on administrative tasks and less than 30 minutes per day on actual growth activities. So we changed one habit, okay? Before opening an email and getting pulled in each morning, she completed one growth activity first, okay? So before the administrative stuff, okay, let's just finish one growth activity. When I say growth activity, I'm talking like marketing, sales stuff, the front end, getting that pipeline full. That's what I'm talking about, not the back end, administrative, operational, stuff. So what did she do? Well, it could either be a sales outreach with a quick phone call, maybe a follow-up email with an interested lead, or looking at streamlining a business work process to be more efficient. And within weeks, she felt calmer, clearer, and more confident. Why? Well, because she finally saw forward movement. And that's what you're going to experience when you take a honest assessment at what's going on in your day-to-day and making just a very small millimeter shifts. Now that leads me to point 4, which is, well, I want you to start asking yourself, who am I becoming? Now, most business owners are gonna ask, what do I want to achieve? We're good at that, right? We're very good at setting goals. But what we should really be asking is this. It's a deeper question. It goes a few layers deeper. And the question is, who do I want to become? Who do I want to become? As a result of this, it's not that you can't start there, right? You can have a goal, set the goal. What do I want to achieve? Okay, there's your goal. But the deeper layer that I want you to ask after that is, who do I want to become? That question changes everything. For example, instead of saying, I want to make more money, become the business owner who reviews financials every week. So, I mean, you can look at it every day, that's fine. But at minimum, every week is fine too. Another example is, instead of just saying, oh, I want more clients, become the business owner who consistently creates visibility and follows up. Instead of just saying, oh, I want to stop feeling overwhelmed, become the business owner that builds systems around peace of mind. Now, it reminds me of just last night. We were having dinner as a family, and my husband says, why don't we go ahead and take a walk after dinner? And I thought that was a great idea. And so we did. It was after sunset, and now since it's summer, it's really hot, and it was cooler out, and the kids, they're 5 years old now, the twins, and they were riding their scooters down the street, and my husband and I were holding hands, walking, and really enjoying our time together. And I said to him, I look at him, I says, we should do this more often. This feels so good. Spending quality time together as a family. But this is the type of thing that once you do it consistently, it becomes a habit. And then a habit becomes a system. A habit that's intentional becomes a system. And let's be honest here, you're business owners, but there's so much more to your life that ensures that you show up as your best self for your business. And that could include your life with your relationships, whether it's with your family, friends, your loved ones, and even your health. So what are the systems around those things that are going to be supporting how you show up in your business? Case in point, just this morning, I woke up at 4 a.m. so that I can really do a deep meditation that I did. I felt really good, and meditation prayer. I did my workout. I have a home office here. I just found it was more efficient for me instead of driving to the gym. Just work out here. And it's just easier to get ready in the morning that way. And so it took time to build the home office and all the equipment that I wanted to feel comfortable with a good workout. But I did that because I intentionally built the habit and the system in place for my health goals so that I can have peace of mind. So when you start thinking about that, so identity drives behavior. See, who am I becoming? So every small action becomes evidence of who you believe you are. And so the business owner who wins isn't necessarily smarter. We know that. How many of us have friends, family that are business owners, and they're not the sharpest tool in the shed there, but they've simply become someone who consistently does what growth requires, right? Energy flows where attention goes. So they've gave so much attention in this one area in their life that it'll naturally grow. And so that's why they see success. And I want you to apply that too for your business and all of the supporting areas in your life to make sure that you are showing up as your best self. Now, here's your challenge. I call it the 1% Business Growth Challenge. So for the next 30 days, choose one tiny business habit. One. Maybe it's one sales follow-up per day, one weekly strategic planning session, or maybe one financial review every Friday. Whatever it is, make it simple. Keep it small enough that you can't fail. Because businesses that grow don't usually come from the dramatic moments. It comes from repeated decisions that eventually create momentum. And I'd love to hear how that worked out for you. Now, if this video resonated with you, drop a comment and tell me what's the one small business habit that you're committing to for the next 30 days. And if you're tired of inconsistent results and ready to build the systems that create predictable revenue and stronger leadership, go ahead and apply for the Strategic Leadership and Business Growth Program. That's where I partner directly with you, with business owners, to create more clarity, confidence, and consistent revenue. And we do that through strategy, systems, and structure to support you. Now, spots are limited. Click the link below and learn more today. Next video, we're going to continue this conversation. The conversation about habits and systems and productivity continues. And this time, we're diving deeper into how successful business owners structure their habits and time differently to create bigger results with less chaos. I'll see you there. Oceans of love and light. Till next time.